I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Warwick Village Hall was evacuated earlier today when smoke and flames were discovered coming from the front of the building. And while firefighters got the two-alarm blaze quickly under control, Warwick Mayor Michael Newhart was hoping investigators would be able to determine where it started and why.
It's that type of internal fire that we have to really find the source, because otherwise if you leave it alone, the whole building might go up. The
subsequent investigation determined the fire had started in a crawl space below the front of the building and that the pouring of hot asphalt in the nearby parking lot might have been the source. Initial word is the damage to the historic Village Hall was minimal. The exterior of the building had been recently renovated. While area school districts continue to reassure parents their children are safe, officials in the Goshen district are addressing concerns about vague threats of violence appearing in social media. The district's posted a statement on its website informing parents about recent rumors on Facebook, Twitter, and the internet. While the chatter involves no specific threat, it raises concerns about a possible incident occurring this Friday, December 21st, the date that signifies the end of the Mayan calendar and has been linked to talk about the end of the world. Goshen District Superintendent Daniel Connor says while there's no evidence of any real threat, a police officer will be posted at all 4 of Goshen schools on Friday.
We wanted to let the parents know, the community know that that we're going to increase our security in our buildings as a safety precaution. We want them to know that it's just rumors as far as we're concerned. But yet, I think in the heels of what just took place last Friday, and people are very anxious, and rightfully so, that we are conscious and aware of it and plan to answer any questions or any concerns. I mean, some of our students are concerned about it. And I know some of our parents are too.
Connor says parents should feel confident in the district's high level of security, but he says the Newtown massacre will probably lead to big changes in gun laws and in the level of services provided children identified as at risk. Tuesday afternoon, town of Chester police responded to a report of an out-of-control student at the Chester Academy. Police say they encountered the 16-year-old boy on the Heritage Trail in front of the school building. The officer was able to calm him down, and an investigation determined the student had made comments to classmates that he was going to bring a machine gun to school on Friday. He was arrested under the mental hygiene law and was to be evaluated at the Orange Regional Medical Center Mental Health Unit. Parents of the student denied he had any access to firearms, and none were found during a search of their home. Chester police had already increased school patrols and will continue them indefinitely. The national debate over gun control will be the focus of a meeting in an area community tomorrow. Saying it's time for municipalities to take up the issue, Ellenville Mayor Jeff Kaplan says he has called a special meeting of the Ellenville Village Board to talk about local legislation that would ban the possession of handguns as well as assault and semi-automatic weapons. The meeting will be held tomorrow, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. at Ellenville Village Hall. Kaplan says in the wake of the Newtown school shooting tragedy, his call for dialogue is in response to what he says has been the lack of any meaningful attempt by our leaders in Washington to prevent similar acts in the future. Fed up by drivers going through red lights along the Route 211 shopping district? Well, so are members of the Wallkill Town Board, and they've passed a resolution requesting the state DOT to install red light surveillance cameras at a few Route 211 intersections where drivers routinely ignore red lights and make turns into commercial shopping areas. Wallkill Supervisor Dan Depew says the town board's decision was prompted by a flood of complaints from local residents and because of accidents caused by those who refuse to stop when the light turns red. Route 211 is a state road, and Depew says the town's request to the DOT for installation of cameras is a safety issue and would serve as a deterrent and not intended to be a revenue generator. The Valley View battle is apparently far from over now that Orange County Executive Ed Diana has labeled as, quote, null and void the legislature's override vote last week that called for the funding of the county-owned nursing home for all of 2013. In a letter to county lawmakers, Diana said their 19-2 veto override vote was illegal because they had made new changes to the budget. Diana says he now intends to carry out a budget plan that includes the cutoff of Valley View funding by February 1st. Legislators have since decided to hire outside legal counsel to decide what to do next, with a lawsuit now a definite possibility. Democrat legislator Chris Eachus says Diana's rejection of their Valley View veto override has the county executive, quote, almost crying out for impeachment. He made contact with the young girls on Facebook and through text messages. Now Brian Densmore will be serving 17 years in prison for rape. The 26-year-old Kingston man had pleaded guilty back in October to various rape charges for the sexual contact involving 4 girls, all of them under the age of 15, and students at Bailey Middle School in Kingston. Police say the sexual encounters did not occur on school property and took place between the summer of 2001 and this past April. Densmore was on parole for a criminal mischief conviction. At the time of his arrest, following the prison time, Densmore will be subject to 15 years post-release supervision. And there is word of an attempted robbery apparently foiled by the owner of a delicatessen on North Plank Road in the town of Newburgh. Town police say it happened at around 6:30 last night when a man wearing a ski mask and carrying a crowbar-type metal object walked into the Big 3 Deli as the female owner was counting the day's proceeds. Despite his threats, the woman refused to turn over the cash, and the would-be robber ran out without any money. A police canine was able to track him for a short distance until the trail ended. Police believe that's where he hopped into a car and drove off. More rain is headed our way. Tomorrow, Thursday, will begin with partial sunshine, but rain could arrive by evening. The highs will be around 45 degrees. Friday looks like a washout. Temperatures again are expected to top out in the middle 40s amid more clouds and more rain. Get an edge on the day by starting it with the Times-Herald Record. And when news breaks anywhere, you will find it right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.